could you be mine? I'm just gonna wait. No, I'm gonna be quite silent, I think, for once. If some guys don't show up. Just do a chill stream. Theo has been working his ass off this week. Just, just surrendered it. How would you say it? Surrendering to duty. Been sitting working on this video for my mom that I just put out so long. It's like I've clearly been super focused. Haven't spoken, barely moved. Just to maybe pee. I had to order sushi because I've been so focused. Just work. Dodge, girls. Oh. Pay attention. What? Come on. Don't be all stressful, dear environment. Can't deal with it. With stuff. Yo, bro. No use. Yo, bro. How are you? Where are we at? What do you mean, where are we at? Like, literally, I wonder what you mean. I'm gonna at least, I intended to do this stream earlier today. But I got this inspiration. I wanted to do a video for my mom. Put a lot of effort into it. So now we're here. Well, yeah, we're here, if that's what you're asking. No, but I'm gonna head down, because it's gonna be quite good timing with a sunset, I think. So I'm gonna head down to at least just see that. And if the stream doesn't really take off, I guess that will be all she wrote. How do you keep your hair healthy? That's funny, It's so funny because one would maybe not think so, but I really care very little about my appearance, as in, I work on the body and stuff, but it really isn't a shallow thing. Same like with the hair, it's like, yeah, I'll do something about my look. I don't want to look like a bum, pretty much. But, do you see what I mean? I used to be very shallow and looks-oriented, like try to present myself a certain way. And what I'm gonna get to answer your question is that when I care way less about that than just a very healthy, now, okay, clearly not as stable with the left hand, just healthy. I've just been healthy for a long time. I don't put any shit in it. I don't use shampoo. Haven't used it for years, like other than odd times. I use egg yolks for shampoo. And yeah, that's all. Like egg yolks every once in a while. Other than that, man, it's like I don't even know the specifics of everything with nutrition for hair. But think of it this way: skin and hair. It's about eating the right building blocks and not putting shit that's toxic for it. And I guess I started realizing these things a lot when I started fasting. When I realized that, hey, I could go days without eating and be fine. What else don't I need? Like, as much as I thought, or not at all, And so, it's like, you phrased it like, how do you keep your hair healthy? It's like, yeah, no, just that. And, I think sun and salt, sweating. Sweat is going to be the main thing that's in my hair. Like the stream, now we are some guys. Like the stream. And if you want this stream to be longer than just a little trip to see the sunset and back, well, it's not going to be way longer either way. But, yeah. Okay, clearly I can still talk. I have sat and talked into the video by writing. I guess I read it out loud, what I wrote to. It's like, before the stream, it's not like I don't feel like doing the stream. I just feel like, okay, you didn't see me closing my eyes, I guess, under the sunglasses, but just like, yeah, the vessel is empty, but the spirit is so high. You said no use. Just no use to keep speaking, right? Yeah, have the live chat. I'll do egg yolks because I feel like I have some issues with the hair and health. I honestly don't care about looks too. I just don't want to look. You also said look like a bum. Look like a bum. Yeah. Yeah, man, I think it's just doing it over time. The thing is, what I have going for me, you know, you always got to recognize, like, what are you just given and what can you actually do something about. And some things you weren't given, you can still do something about. But for instance, I've always had thick hair, like a good amount of hairs on my head. But when you look at some old pictures, and I just remember the way it could feel sometimes, it was a completely different texture it had then. So yeah, it's just interesting how much. Okay, left hand, clearly wave. That's an interesting thing. Notice that my left hand is much shakier. Look, see, this is the left hand. Shakes more. Because of course the auto stabilization doesn't work. Yeah, like this. Let's take a little look. Yo, guys. Do I look like a zombie? That's the interesting part. In this state, even when I start feeling a bit like The Walking Dead, like the body shouldn't be able to operate this well. So I'm like, do I look a bit like tired than I look? And like, no, still godlike, still the Viking god. You know, that's something I'd never refer to myself as. But especially this week, I had so many different people say something like that. No use. What's better, to uplift or to bully your friends? Do you care to elaborate on that question? I mean, I can go many different ways with that. It's like I'm not reactive at all right now, so I'm not going to assume that that's like for me to ponder, you know. Should you really be bullying people, or should you be nice, uplift them? So I can answer that either way, but I'd like you to clarify. What do you mean by that? You should bully or uplift your friends. If it's a literal question and those are the options, I have, you know, pick one. There we have. For example, let's say I have, yeah. For example, let's say I have certain friends with bad habits and I want to help them. Well, this answer is going to work anyway. I have to, you know, I'm unclear in my head, but I get distracted by things around me. Now people. Okay. It depends on the friend and the setting. You know, you have to. That's interesting. You know, you should really see later my video to my mom, because I talked to her about how to better communicate in that video. And the thing is, bully. See, clearly I am overwhelmed. Like any little thing outside of what I'm doing right now, I feel is like big. Bully or uplift, it's like, who is your friend? Who will they take it? Some people respond way better to being made fun of. Some people need you to feel like you're sweet and soft because they're really highly critical about themselves already. So they'd respond way better if you, you know, told them in a nice way. Someone, you know, you have to try your way, right? So you could start off by being nice, saying something like, hey, you thought about this, or you thought about doing this. Then also, you know, it depends on, like sometimes it's not even your place to go there, you know. How close friends are you? Can you deal with, are there that different way of being too much for you? Like you feel like they have to change for you to stick around them. It's like there are many things to consider here. So, you know, point being that, you know, clearly I use like bullying in some of my videos to trigger people. But the idea is not to just be a big bully, right? It's because it works on some. You show them where it hurts. You know, the best scenario is, of course, that they realize something from that, actually, and humble themselves. But it could even be like, I'll show them, I'll show. So you see, you have some different thoughts there. Man, I'm really gonna have to find private space. It's like Theo has been working his ass off a week. Still feeling good, but clearly all drained. All. Hi, Ryan Beckering. Like the stream, guys. If you haven't, ask me some stuff. And another advice about bullying, Suzuki says, if you have a friend who is chubbier, taking him to the gym will help. Calling him a fatty alone didn't change his eating habits. You know, have you seen that? It's a meme. Can't recall the headline. It's like a headline in a newspaper. Yeah, like just a picture of this. I've seen it so many times, but it's like, man loses stone, that weird UK unit, you know, after friend texts him fat fuck every day for 30 days or something. So, you know, it can work. Like, let's put it this way. Yeah, nah, let's not even go there, by the way. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah, no use. Is 4 days per week too little if I'm getting into gym? No, definitely not. Too little? Too little for what? What are you doing on those 4 days? It's like, you know, 4 days sounds like a lot for someone that's getting into gym, but it still depends. It wouldn't have to be too much. But it's like, if you did, depending on the goal, you could go half as many times and still see good results. If you're, you know, whatever you're doing there is bullcrap, not productive. You see what I mean? You know, 4 sounds like a decent number. I would say probably most people, if you get into gym completely new, 2 to 4 times. Actually, I mentioned one exception for people that really need to feel like it's an everyday thing, because they can't handle the thing that, oh, I trained today but not tomorrow, and then tomorrow and then not for 2 days or whatever. So actually I made a program in the course that I gotta get my ass to fix. There's a training program that I used for some clients. That's like my split. When you go to the gym every day, it's just that a very short and sweet workouts. Crossing the street. Jaser, leading by example is really effective for me. Seeing people succeed and seeing them feel good makes me want to live more like them. Yeah, man, of course. Lead by example you always have to do. Like, you cannot give someone advice that you're not following yourself. Whoop. Like a complete moron. That's something I have people do to me a lot, you know. You know, people flaw find in you. Like, maybe you should think about this thing. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? It's like, well, have you tried fucking almost anything of the stuff that I do? No use. How do you train the lower abs? Well, any crunch will train the lower abs as well. You know, they are, you know, the 8-pack or whatever, 6-pack, whatever you have. The abdominal muscles, they can't be entirely separated when you train. But of course, a bottom-up movement would generally be targeting lower abs more. You can target preferentially, but you cannot completely isolate. Point being that it wouldn't be too bad to just do some kind of a crunch. But I do have, if you search this channel for lower abs, there's both a short and a longer video of a pretty unique lower ab exercise. I can't say that I came up with it, because I saw someone do something similar, just one guy, once, and I made a little twist on it. I made several twists on it at this point. But yeah, I have a longer video and a short on it. And yeah, well, it's a hyperextension. Do you know the hyperextension? You know, the back leg. It's not the crunch, it's the other side, right? The lower back or the hamstrings and glutes. but I do a crunch in that. And the position just makes it so you really stretch the lower abs, even though it's a crunch movement. I've been doing it for a year now, progressive overload, and I think I can see that me, who don't really have the lower ab genetic, like, you know, I have kind of Arnold abs. They have these big upper ones, not so much the lower ones, but I think it's a bit more cut out now. Okay, beautiful. Gonna be beautiful here. And finally, I can soon get some peace and quiet, not navigate out in the wild world with a completely depleted Theo to try to look out for. Wow, beautiful here though. Yeah, guys. You know what, I'm just gonna keep quiet if you don't talk. Wow. Can I switch the camera to the other side? I see you sent some questions. I would just want to see if I can show you guys that way, or am I just stuck with this camera now? I think I've been able. Why is the camera? I think it switched places in the app. Look at this, guys. How great is that? Realize I walked here. I started a stream very close to my home and walked here. Now I'm here. But being I'm not so freaking proud that I walked here. I'm saying that it's not so long. Okay. Wow. There are people here though. On a day like this, it's like I'm not shy of people at all. It's just that I'm distracted by every noise, sound, presence of anything that stimulates me. My nervous system is clearly like wrecked. I'm gonna get to your questions. Well, I guess I'll sit by the tree, but no. I can't go there because then there's gonna be shadow. I guess the sun is going away now, anytime anyway. Well, I guess we take the sunset. I'll stand here. Can I get a good angle? Can I get a good angle? I have the sunset. I have the sun go down behind me. Yeah. It doesn't work so well on the camera when it's on the stream. You know, I don't know enough about camera technology, but there's something, you know, the exposure, blah, 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 blah. Like the anti-shade, there's just less functions on the camera when you stream. The area looks comfy, by the way, Suzuki says. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. I've always been thinking I want to, not always, I mean, for a long time, been thinking I would like to live somewhere else, like more remote. Also, I do, for living, as I say, for as far as living in a city goes, it's like I couldn't live in a better place. I live like on the edge, small oasis on the edge, close to a place like this and a forest. So yeah, latimus, dorsi, and neck. No, you say the straining neck, deep and voice. Actually, the girl I'm probably gonna reach out to soon. Like the girl I love. To be frank, you know, I dated a girl. It did not go well. Like I don't care, but okay, it was a funny story how that ended. But she's a singer. This first girl, and she told me it deepens the voice. That's why she wouldn't do it. I'm like, would you be training next anyway though? I don't think so. But yeah, I have quite a deep voice to begin with. I'm a bass, you know, I have a singing background. I was a second bass, like the lowest bass. Among the second basses, I wasn't like the ultra low, but point being, a lower bass. And I happen to know something about the voice, like how it works. It's gonna keep getting deeper, ever slightly so deeper for a long time. it's when you're starting to become an old man, then it's gonna start reversing. You think that old man voice, that kind of voice. So what you can do though is that without deepening your voice, the deep voices aren't the only ones that are like strong voices, like charismatic. What's the words I'm looking for here? You know, commanding respect kind of voice, whatever word I'm not finding right now. You can just practice the way you speak. What you don't want to do is somehow speak up here. You want it to be down in your belly a little bit. Then I could improve. I'm quite nasal. That's hard for me to change, but it's possible that too. Something I could work. I get that comment sometimes. A helium voice, something. One of the many things little anonymous people try to tell me to make themselves feel better. No, but yeah, so training the neck does deepen the voice a little bit, apparently. But there are better ways if changing your voice somehow is what you're looking for. Suzuki asked, any recommendations for targeting the full latissimus dorsi? I seem to only get the upper part exercise for some reason. Well, two things. Get hair in my mouth. Two things. Like the full one. Like there are two things. the upper one, like it can be about your insertions too. Like if you look at me, my lat genetics, I have quite high insertions. But also, you might have to look for exercises where you just target the lats better. You might be, like many, including myself, more upper back dominant. And there is like an upper lat that's called teres major. And often we don't even talk about that muscle because it's like you train, it does the same thing as the lats, right? But so I'll tell you what worked for me. I realized about a year ago that hey, I of course I've grown my lats, but I feel like they're lacking a little bit, and I had this meaty upper back. And for me, the change was I noticed that even movements that should be quite lat dominant, clearly they weren't, right? And so for instance, imagine like a lat pull down. I use a close grip, pull like this. But what I've always done is pull more straight towards me. So even when it's a close grip like this, I realized I've been using the upper back more. And when I started pulling more in front of me, so what you want to think about, if I can show myself, is more than pull straight flat. So like, you see? It doesn't have to be like an isolation movement with straight arm, but then when you pull, instead that you come out in front of you. So what I changed with that lat pull down, for instance, is that, instead of pulling here, I would like lean back. So I end up here rather than here, And LC chin-ups have been great for me. So experiment with that. It can be different exercises even than the ones I mentioned. But more of a diagonal angle can be helpful. And rather than thinking about pulling straight towards you, pulling your elbow down in front of you like that. So have fun with that. It worked for me. I clearly improved my lats this last year. Austin, hey man, first time seeing you live. Got any tips for being consistent in combating depression I can write down? Let me get back to that one. I will answer. Bully Maguire. Bully Maguire, are you the same Bully Maguire that I remember in a stream a long time ago? You remember that I love Bully Maguire. That's like a guilty pleasure of mine to sit and look at a bunch of Bully Maguire clips. I love it. I'm something of a Bully Maguire enthusiast myself. Hi, it's you. It is you. Good to see you. Yeah, Austin, I'm gonna get to you with the depression. Like when it starts to get a little calmer, I can find a little bit of more private space. We'll do that. Bro looks spiritual, man. Yeah, bro is in an extremely spiritual mode. Hey, Medul 10 Alpha. Struggling to forgive an ex-girlfriend, though she hasn't been a part of my life in over a year. I still have a lot of hateful thoughts towards her. Have you ever struggled to forgive and forget? Oh man. Of course I have. You know what? We lost the sun now anyway. Let's head. I know a place we can go. Or yeah, okay. It's like Theo just knows he shouldn't be out, like doing this too long today. and it's the journey back to. I guess what I can do is I go there, and then I'll end the stream, not take you guys on my way. Oh, I don't have to go there. There's a bench there. That's gonna be perfect. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get to the girlfriend, the depression stuff. There were some other questions I wrote down on a paper that I obviously forgot, like that I collected before. There was one I didn't quite understand. Like I think I got the gist of it, but it was not expressed. You know, like how do you feel about people treating you differently after losing weight or something? And it's on this picture when it's little me at 19, when I was skinny, you know, compared to now. First of all, I'm like, how do you draw that conclusion? Lose weight? Why? Yeah. But then comparing it to like, oh, they now look up to you, they inspire them, they kind of put you on a pedestal, and before you were like invisible. I'm like, I'm not quite. It's like I think I understand what you're asking, but I would never frame any of that way, you know. Yeah, how I feel about that. I'll say this shortly about that one. Just like how I feel about people, you know, looking at me and treating me differently after I changed. It's kind of cool with some people. Maybe I've had more insecurities when it comes to women, to be frank, like because I have more problems from my mom. That's how it works. That's the pattern, you know. But of course I've had insecurities and have like guys I want validation from as well. It was a certain kind of type. I felt like, you know, I guess they were more assertive than me, you know. And now, many of these guys, first of all, when I see them, I look at them in a completely different way. Like, not necessarily look down, but I just, they're not even interesting to me. And then suddenly I notice them wanting my attention. And that's kind of a rewarding thing. To just be like, ha, you know, if you're nice, sure, I'm going to be nice. But now, and I'm not going to be mean either. But if I can tell they haven't changed, you know, then I can, you know, enjoy, get to be the big guy and not give them the attention completely, right? But in general, they were put on a pedestal. Often I don't even feel that way, right? Put on a pedestal. Like that, I guess that happens when I feel like someone is like, you know, a little too much in their, like, expressing appreciation for you. It's like, I feel like you don't even see who I actually am. It's like, I'm not a god, you know. I'm still just a guy. It's like, treat me like a guy. I don't want to be treated like I'm some god, like you're beneath me. Like, when you treat me as if I'm above you, then I'm gonna end up feeling like I look down on you, and I don't want to. I don't want to. No matter how triggering and that I am in my videos, I see people as, you know, people, not little underlings, right? Yeah, there's some good questions here. Julian Bernie, hey, what's good, man? What's good? Bully Maguire. I'm gonna laugh every time I see you. It's because now I haven't looked at Bully Maguire in a while. I love that stuff. But okay, let's get to the serious stuff. So, I guess you with an ex-girlfriend, you asked first. To forgive an ex-girlfriend, struggling to forgive ex-girlfriend. She's not been a part of your life in over a year, but you still have lots of hateful thoughts towards her. And then you ask me if I ever struggle to forgive and forget. It's like, you know, guys, I already talk so much using my examples directly, which for some points, of course, I might bring in that still, even if you describe, but then I know I can compare it to your situation more directly. So, you know, that's what I always feel like. That's why I keep asking you guys for input at different places. It's like, you know, I want to know about you now, also. I can kind of guess which of my stories make sense for points that apply to people. But it's like, when we're here, you tell me you struggle to get over an ex. Have you ever struggled? It's like, well, tell me more. What's up there, you know? But yeah, I have struggled with it. I mean, forgiveness, like this girl that I do love, I have forgiven her now. But we were an on and off thing. And I struggled with forgiving her for certain ways. I felt mistreated by her. And it's hard, you know. But you know, often, you know what often it is? In my case there, sometimes it's like denial to that, you know, she has responsibility too. I cannot just say, oh, she was perfect and I did everything wrong. She would tell you all that it was the exact opposite. I disagree with it being the exact opposite, but I continuously put myself in the position for her to do, like be unable to give me what I wanted. And then I am all disappointed about it and blame her for it, you know. And that's what I've taken responsibility for. That, of course, she has a part in it as well. But I have to admit that at least after a certain point, it's like I accepted it, I tolerated it, I then invited it. Like she tries to, like, let me go, like, for my sake, you know, really. And still I keep putting myself there, and then I blame her, right? So that's what I mean. I don't know your exact position, but many times that's the thing. You have to take responsibility for your part. Being often hating a person, a romantic relationship, it doesn't mean that they were flawless, right? But many times it's like you refuse to look at yourself. Didn't you play a part in that? What happened, right? Were you perfect? Were you really, right? No, but the other thing is that forgiveness is often about understanding where the other person is coming from. Like actually, not just basing it off of yourself. Like, can I see a way where I can be like, oh, well, I get them. That's an expression of their pain, their problems. That makes it easier. So you see, that's the general thoughts I have to give when you say it like that. We both did things wrong, you say. Well, I think you can use that, what I said. And you had the other one. Hey, what happened with that one? Was I wrong in the order of them? Oh, I'm sorry, you Austin, you were first. And you said, now I haven't dated since around February. I need a break, man. Yeah, man, some of us been on a break. I mean, of course, I've been in that relationship on and off, but not always, and distance, right? So some of what I was going to say is that some of us have been on a break for years, pretty much, you know. Only recently is when I've like genuinely broken that break of meeting girls, like more actively. I've done it forcefully because I should before, but within I've not really decided to do it, you know. So, yeah, you asked about depression. First time seeing you live. Got any tips for being consistent in combating depression I can write down? Consistent in combating it. Consistent in combating it. You see, guys, I am someone that knows exactly why I use the words I use. Sometimes maybe I project that on others and I assume that they... I mean, many times there can be even subconscious reason, but sometimes it is just kind of random. And I'm like, combating depression consistently. Is it like, do you mean how to deal well with the depression as it's ongoing? Or how you just combat life so that you don't get depressed or something? In consistently combating depression, I think what I would say, you know, is embrace it. Embrace it. It's, you know, many times we're depressed because we're in denial of how things should be, and we don't let go. And oh, when I feel like this, I can't do anything. And then when you're like, well, I feel like shit, and I can't quite let go yet. Yeah, I can't do as much because I'm depressed. I just have to roll with that. I just have to do whatever I can do until I'm no longer depressed, until I've licked my wounds enough so I'm ready to go again. That's been my lesson, you know, these years, because Theo is sort of a bipolar person. You know, using bipolar, I don't know if I fit the criteria for that diagnosis, nor do I care. I just noticed that I have quite large ups and downs that will come and go. Then my mom knows also, that I talked about in my video to my mom. Point being is that I both kind of assumed that when I'm high state, that's how things should be. So that's when everything is great, I'm feeling like that. And something has gone wrong when I'm low. But there's also natural reasons. All emotions are necessary, you know. It's like a spiritual person or a healed person. It's not that they never ever feel like negative emotion, like anger or sad or grief, right? All emotions serve a purpose. So I've now started to embrace, okay, I end up in a high state where I clearly can do more. Clearly my preference is to feel that way, but it's not always. I've been too high. Gone too far and crashed hard. And now I see it as like, yeah, it comes with a price, you know. It can be dangerous to feel too good also, right? And I've just seen that depression, you know, I can't really make up arguments for why it's good. I guess it's good because it's kind of forcing you to take the rest that you clearly need. But then, so you see, I've both gone too far being high and go too low when being too low, like just being in denial of it forever. And it's always been when I just embrace the fact that, okay, Theo, you can't do as much as you'd like to do now. Doesn't mean that you can't do anything, but stop like comparing yourself to your ideal best self when you're in this place. Be kind to yourself now. Let yourself be less for a while. Let yourself be less. And as soon as I actually embrace that idea, it doesn't go long until I'm like, hey, I actually feel a bit excited about something. I actually don't feel like everything is meaningless and dreadful, and I wish it feels like a relief to not be alive anymore. I actually feel excited about something, you know. And then staying consistent in combating it, I guess, is that it's still, you and never ever go from being completely depressed to like, oh, I'm just super excited now in a day, you know. Like embracing that it's not a linear journey back to. Yeah, that's how I'd answer it for you right now. And he said, yeah, I'm the same with thinking the high state should be how things should be. I'm too hard comparing my highs with where I'm at right now. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get to stuff. And he said, yeah, embracing it rather than fighting it and trying to be 100% sounds wise. 100%. 100%. Thank you, Theo. Theo. That's funny. I mean, he says thank you, Theo, but Theo, I don't know. It's a funny typo. Jacer, how do you keep a sound relationship with social media? Sometimes I watch YouTube more than I want to, and I delete the app. But very soon I download it again, but watch less for some time. I mean, so there could be a similar response to the one about depression, actually. Do you know that when right now, there's just no risk of me spending too much time on social media because I'm only on it to do my work, and that's my work, right? I'm not consuming. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, if I open Instagram, I guess I happen to see something, but YouTube, I don't think I've watched any videos other than like a little bit of my own. Like I watched a stream take out a clip, like I did today. But that's really like I'm not even watching my content. It's like I'm using my stuff. But when I am more depressive, it's kind of like I kind of have to get some escape like that. That's the point. Nothing is black and white in this life. It isn't just a bad period to use these things. And I've also worried like you. When I just see myself, I feel like slip into those behaviors. I like judging myself for it. But the beautiful thing that I've noticed is that, well, when I get out of that sort of state, I'm gradually going to want to do it less. So there is that thing of embracing different periods, ups and downs with things. But then it's like, if you see that it's actually causing you some kind of harm, okay, now you have to, like you said, you delete it and you get it back, but you use it less. Well, isn't that, if you can stick to the less thing, isn't that a good middle ground? To begin with, at least. It's like me and my snooze and coffee. I couldn't really find the motivation to do it less before, because, you know, I changed my life. I have such good habits overall. This is the thing. Like, I let my have that thing, even knowing that I probably should do it less. It's hard to find the motivation other than, oh, I just should. Then I started seeing some actual backsides to it. And then I managed, because I've done these dopamine fasts when I remove the stimulants, nicotine, caffeine as well. And I'm always able, like you, to do less afterwards. But then, because I don't have a clear why, under stressful times I'll autopilot into the old pattern again. But when I found true motivation, like, okay, I get these vague anxieties, feeling stressed over things for no reason, you know, and I could see the connection finally to these stimulants. Then, the last time I did this fast, at the end of the year, since then, I've done it 25% of my old consumption, 1/4, right? So, you don't have to do dopamine fast. I just think, I like, the way Theo likes to do things, is to do something extreme first, so that the contrast is easier to do. So you could decide. You could decide either that you're fine with your current use, that you'll leave it for later to deal with, or you can decide that, you know what, I'm gonna do this that I've done, delete the apps, be away from it completely for a while, and then when I bring them back, I'm gonna give some rules. Like in Theo's case here with the snooze, it's, you know, one box, I don't have it with me now. They're 24, and I used to do a whole one of those in a day. And I decided that I get 6, a fourth of those. And so I'm gonna have, you know, I don't have to tell you about all of them because it's not the point. I have specific moments of the day when I take them. I have a plan now, and that's what made me, the motivation and the structure there, that's what's made me able to stick to that. And now I'm really quite happy with that. So you could do something similar, come up with clear rules afterwards. Like the stream if you haven't, guys. Maybe send old Theo super chat here. He's been working so much for free this week. To be honest, like signing some new clients as well. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to. But I keep saying it. It's not just about the money. It's like, nostalgic is the wrong word, but I've described this many times, how I used to watch other YouTubers when I was too much of a pussy to put myself out there still. It's a mean way to describe it. I was still, had lots of insecurities and fears and traumas I haven't overcome yet, right? But I used to watch streamers. It seemed like such a great thing. Doing what you're into, helping people, and people can support you. And so Theo really likes just the thing of the super chats. That's why don't refer to any freaking PayPal or anything, you know. So let's, what's the next one? Suzuki, dating is really rough in today's time and age. Yeah, I mean, it is, as in, you know, I have no problems with being attracted to girls at all, especially not in this state. It's like, it's actually insane. Because in my low state, I just don't notice, I forget about all of it, because I don't love myself at those times, right? I have a hard time, at least. But in this state, I'm so full of love for myself and everyone that I just attract, not just girls, right? And I don't mean gay men, I mean, that happens too. But generally, when you have that magnetic energy, it's so easy. You know, I don't want to speak ugly right now. I could go chain effing a bunch of girls if I wanted to. I could, if I wanted to, probably just find someone here if I really wanted it. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, the contrast of that. Because, you know, that might seem, that might sound like an egomaniac thing to say, but I mean that at other times it's absolutely not like that. It's like a temporary thing. So, man, yeah, the thing though is like the recent girl that I dated, like, it's like I want to tell the story, but I think I have to keep it for another video. That was shocking in a sense. That, yeah. I think my point is that it definitely has to do with me too. Like, I'm so extreme of an individual that not only am I not gonna be happy with most girls, but I'm gonna trigger the shit out of so many girls. There's not gonna stand to be around me. Like this girl, Claire, I triggered her so much, reminded her of all her weaknesses that she told me that I was doing, you know, and I wanted to leave. You know, but the climate, the most, yeah. It is weird. It is strange times with all of that. It's like if shallow connections and performative sex between two fake people is what you're looking for, then absolutely, that are great times for that. But Julian, you know. Never dated before. Any advice? Should I care, or will it happen when it happens? It's like I'm honestly not the guy to give advice about like dating. Again, I'm too fucking weird, you know. Like that's an area where many things will just not apply. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit too hard on myself with that. But it's like I'm fine with it as I say it, you know. I'm just being honest. Let's put it this way. I can probably give you advice. It's just that I would probably approach it differently myself. What I'd like to say is that it's all about where you're coming from in it. should never forcefully do that. If it feels unnatural to you to be on a dating app, for instance, don't do it. Just don't do it, you know. But also, if you feel like this is something you'd like to do, but it's scary or uncomfortable somehow, well, then I think you should do it. And then there can be times where it's like, should you be focusing on that right now, you know? But guys ask me sometimes, like, for instance, someone I start working with, like, do you think I should completely forget about dating while we're working here? I'm like, well, that's not up to me to decide, really. It's like, if you think it gets in the way, or if you want to describe how you feel and have my take on it, we can do that. But generally, it's like, it could get in the way for, like, there's one guy, for instance, that I coach, that we have a break, but he's probably gonna come back. I told myself, because I noticed how much he is focusing on girls when he's himself is having a huge problem, and I recognize the same thing in myself. When the girls are the escape, it's a mother wound. It's looking for that validation from the outside that you're not getting from within. If that's how you feel, then you shouldn't do it. Then you need to work on you first. You need to love yourself first. You need to learn to be okay with you being alone first. Then you can date. So you have some stuff to work with there. Last thing I'll say, there is a middle ground when you don't focus on it, but you don't like lie to yourself that, no, I'm so happy by myself or something. It's like you're open still. So you could make a move given the right time. Because otherwise, if you decide something like that, you might shut yourself off from things you just shouldn't. Looking good, chump, Bully McGuire says. I'm not too fast enough to come up with something there. I'm just thinking about that the pie is so good. Yeah, Julian, you asked, he said dating is pretty easy if you don't take it too serious and take the lead. Yeah, well, it depends on who you are, man. If you don't take it too serious, for some people, they cannot just choose to do that. They have some stuff to, you know, they have some stuff to get over before. But Julian also is curious, how strong are you, bro? It's like, ask me better questions like that, man. Like, I like you, but don't ask like that. It's like, be more specific. Because Theo can so accidentally just go into a rant, having to hit the general question of how strong are you, bro? Go through everything. So what do you want to know? Are you religious? If so, which religion do you ascribe to, you and Kiki? No. You know, I'm believing it more and more for myself. I just don't believe there's one true religion, you know. And I cannot fake it. I'm too honest. I cannot pretend. You know, Jesus, the Quran, or Buddhism. I think they're all different interpretations and roads to the same one God, the only one that exists, the one that's within all of us, whether you call yourself a Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, or whatever, right? So that being said, I respect people's, you know, that people have a religion. I notice that many people that still consider themselves follower of a religion, when they respect my view of the entire thing, I feel like we're on the same, like it's the same God, right? You just have your way of getting there. While when some Christians start pushing the Bible in my face, I'm just like, please go away with all of that. Did you ever convince anyone that way, you know? So, no, I just believe in God. This is a cross I got from my friend, Andreas. Andreas is to Theo what Theo is to many of you here. A brother, but actually the one and only big brother Theo's ever felt like he's had. He gave Theo this one. So, yeah. So I want to say something last there, but he has the same view as me, of course. And it's not because he says so or anything that I believe that. I had that same view before I knew him. But yeah, I'll say as the last part about the religion thing. Please like and ask more if you want this to keep going, guys. Hit Theo with the super chats. Then you're gonna, you know, that's the only way you're gonna bribe Theo to be here longer than he planned to today. No, what about the religions is like, it's like I want to be convinced, you know. I want to, please, you know, Jesus, I've asked you. People have told me that if you look into your heart, honestly ask Jesus to reveal himself to you, he will, he will. I'm sorry, Jesus is great, but he has not come to me personally and told me about himself. And I'm not stubborn. I don't have ego about it. I will admit as soon as I was wrong. Like, thank you. This makes it so easy. There's a book and everything. So easy, you know. While the sort of belief I have, it actually takes for you to fully just trust something that you know for yourself, right? Yeah. Yeah, those are my religious views. Let's see here. Let's see. I appreciate it greatly, man. Austin said, well, I appreciate you, brother. You seem to be a similar person like me. You know, I'm realizing more and more, you know, that it's like, I wanted to say something funny there, but that it's like people that consider themselves different are the ones that are really attracted to me, because I'm so fucking different, you know. You know, so normal looking in a sense, like just a Swedish guy, right? Still so uncommon, very uncommon, common guy. And those people, see, to different degrees, are the ones that are the most drawn here. Appreciate you, bro. So, Boulder Shoulder says in Swedish, English from this point, man, for the sake of the others. If you talk to me privately or in a comment, you can do the Swedish. No worries, alright, but I'm just telling you. So I'll translate this time. Tjena, recently recovered after a bad shoulder injury, a boulder shoulder injured. Do you have videos, recommendations on a training split? You mean to do a real split these days? So okay. What did you do before? It's like that was confusing. Like, it was in Swedish, but it was confusing. Now I have to read it in Swedish for myself, just to feel like if I get it differently. Tjena, har nyligen återhämtat mig efter en grov axelskada. Har du videos, rekommendation på träningsschema? Menar att följa ett ordentligt schema numera. Well, bro, like that, it's just not enough information. I don't know what you were doing before. I don't know how bad your shoulder injury is. There are many different real splits you can do. So, yeah, man. Do I have to guess here? It's like, could do a 3 full body per week. Could do a push-pull leg, one of each per week. Could do upper low. It's like you can do many different things. I don't know what to tell you with that. Sorry, bro. I'm not meaning to be rude. Rishab Kaira, I just saw a video about your mother. I'm facing the same situation. What is the first thing I can do? So the same situation. I don't know that you had the same situation. I mean, where are you at with that? Where are you at in that journey exactly, you know? Because I have a long history. Like, obviously, my mom was the one that gave birth to me. But, I mean, since waking up to the fact that she kind of fucked me up, you know, like that, it was mainly her. And you know, I say these things I talk about just matter of fact, okay? I love her, like you can clearly see in that video. It's just the case, I'm more like her because she's the one that hurt me the most of my parents. I have some baggage from my dad also. But first thing is that you need to figure out exactly what you have to forgive your mother for, okay? You can go look at a very old video. You're gonna see a much smaller Theo, but still doing his thing here on Uncommon Sense channel. I think the video is called "Your Parents Destroyed You and You Need to Forgive Them" or something like that. And I guess it would be interesting to see now what little Theo is. Theo yesterday is little Theo compared to today also, right? But way more little Theo, what he had to say about it. But you had to figure out exactly in what ways she wronged you. And then the best thing is if you can forgive her straight to her face. But there's no point in forcing forgiving your parents when you're not ready for it, okay? It's always going to be scary to do such a thing, but it's not like you think you can mechanically solve some kind of problem by just saying it to them. However, that there is power in when you are ready to actually tell the person that hurt you, I forgive you for that. The point of this is that you get to own your story, your truth towards the person that hurt you, so that you can let go of it, right? The point is not their reaction at all. Of course, ideal scenario is that they say like, yeah, I know, I'm completely aware of all of that. I didn't know exactly that, and I'm so sorry, you know. Of course, that's what we'd all like to hear, but be prepared to get the exact opposite reaction, you know. Who do you think you are? I gave birth to you. I put food on this table, blah, 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 blah. Whatever they make up, right? But you're right. That's what you have to know, right? But then it's about understanding their perspective also. That's what you have to do to be able to even genuinely forgive someone. Just pretending that you're fine and saying that you forgive someone, that does nothing. But yeah, in the case of my mom, I'm not going to tell her entire childhood now. But when I started asking her questions about her growing up, or just thinking about things she's told me, I realized how terrible of a time she had, how terribly mistreated she was by her mom and dad. Probably worse than me, right? Even me with my brother and that. If I'm being honest, she probably had a more difficult time than I had. And okay, she didn't manage to do it perfectly, but when I take this in mind, man, my mom is great, you know. I see the hurt little girl in my mom. Still though, there's a hurt boy in me as well. And that little boy I have to get to stand up for. Can tell it the nicest way I can, but it's for me that I do that. I understand where they were coming from, and that's kind of how you say it. Like, you know, growing up, this, and this happened. It affected me this, and this way. It hurt me a lot. I've been very angry and blah, blah, blah. But now I can see that you're just like me, just a little person that had your shit that went wrong, and you did the best of what you had. So thank you for that, and I forgive you for the other stuff. It's fine. I'm letting go of it. I'm moving on. Whatever happens from that point, now you've set it all in motion, right? This, when I forgave my mom to her face like that, that was 5 years ago. Imagine, right? Of course, it doesn't magically all go away at once. Clearly, I've had to figure new, like I forgave her in the grand scheme of things. Then you notice little new things that you sort of have to forgive them for. Don't have to go and say it every time. You've done the major part, right? But yeah, you see, I've come to the point where I will put the YouTube video out and telling my mom how much I love her and giving her the advice on how to be a better mother to me from this point. You don't have to do that. Don't have to do YouTube videos. Hope that's helpful, man. Like the stream if you have it, guys. Keep talking. Let's see what's the time. Gonna have to head back soon. A super chat could buy me and could buy you some more time with you. But now, since I didn't go far away, I'm start throwing in Swedish, or soon gonna start walking back. And then I'll bring you, because I didn't go away, but then I'll end it. Nice, love the cross, brother. Young Kiki. Yeah. Suzuki, do you practice a sleep hygiene routine before bed? Well, that's, first of all, the unusual, in the high state is when Theo will actually neglect sleep a little bit, because he's not going to be able to. Two things. It's kind of an insane thing. Theo needs less sleep in the high state overall. It's as if, this is just the analysis, okay? What I've noticed is that it's as if there's nothing to process. It's like, you know, part of sleep is physical recovery and part is like mental recovery, you know, processing things. It's as if Theodore's body, nervous system, everything is just processed already. It's running so fast that everything is processed, and all he needs is like some rest for the body. Now, because of this, it's still easy to, it's not like I can go without sleep for that reason. Not in denial of it like some people are. But yeah, Theo both needs less sleep and will neglect a little bit of sleep because it's like he knows this is a temporary situation. It's just gotta make the most of it. Gotta use the high state to get a lot of cool things done. But this is like at the peak high state. It's typical that right now of the year actually, he will start calming down soon. I will still be high, but I can already feel that it's starting to calm down. And so sleep hygiene, honestly, what it's mostly about is having good habits, routine for it. I just want to share the other perspective. In a low state, Theo can sleep like if now honestly, Theo would be fine on like 5 to 6 hours per night, which is too little. It is too little for most people to average, and it is for me most of the time as well. 7 to 8, that is like the mid state sort of need for me. But when depressed, a low state, it's I can sleep 10 hours and still feel like exhausted in the morning because it's like there's so much more to process. But so, having a solid routine. Theo's had a system for a long time, you know. I don't have a wake-up clock. I have a sleep-down clock, you know. At the time I go to bed, and just it being habit, that's gonna help a lot. You know, that the body's used to. Like, it's time to get tired soon. Having the room as dark and cool as possible. Not doing anything too stimulating right before bed. So like in this instance, now when I'm actually gonna try to calm Theo down, you know what worked really? It was amazing actually on the stream yesterday. Now I'm getting a bit too excited. Like I'm actually setting a bad example with this right now, because I actively talked slower. I went into the stream like I'm gonna be all calm. Theo needs to get to chill now. We need to get into more of a parasympathetic state. If you keep doing things fast and all that, you're gonna be all excited. So actually now you gave me a good reminder. We need to slow down here. Can't stick around with you and wind down that. You know, so this is honestly, it might sound insane to you, but it's Theo being so aware of how the nervous system works and how Theo works that he can actually use a thing like just slowing down and stuff to calm down. But the point is, apart from having the routine and a good environment for you to sleep, dark and cool room, just not doing anything too stimulating close to bed. You can meditate. Meditate is something Theo might have to do in other states, but right now it's like he's so on top of this freaking machine, you know, that he can almost like kind of just tell it to slow down a bit, you know, tell it to slow down. So whatever you can do to slow down, get sunlight in the day, the morning sun too, the red morning sun, to set the circadian clock. So we start moving back, but we do it slowly. That was a mistake. You know, thank you for actually making me conscious to the fact that I was getting myself too excited when it's not the time. Let's see. Sleep hygiene, forgiveness, thunder turtle. Was that your name? Thunder turtle. Forgiveness is a powerful thing, but we need to be honest first. At least that's what I think. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I said. Not only, I guess, but Bully Maguire. Why is it so common today? There are so many narc parents, I wonder. To be honest, parenting should be until 18 years old. Then it's your own life. Why it's so common? Is it? I mean, I have to think about that one. Let me have that in the back of my head a little bit. Rishabh Kaira. I'm thinking about moving away from my family home. The amount of disrespect I felt in the last 8 months is crazy. I went through financial turbulence and my family almost disowned me. Because of that? Are you living with your parents? How old are you? I mean, yeah. Like, honestly, you should get away from your parents. Need to get away from your parents. And you know, that's the thing, when we talked about the whole forgiveness thing, some relationships, when you've tried everything, and it's still just causing you harm to be around them, guess what you have to do? Leave. Abandon. Can't keep abandoning yourself for no win for anyone, right? Like, just so they, you know, to selfishly please be around like a miserable person for your family. No, and they need you. That's the thing. That's a big message. With all the shit, all the high and mighty spiritual shit Theo's been up to lately, a lot of the message is that many times people give you no choice but to hurt them to help them, right? Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, Theo can... like the only aggression Theo does on his Uncommon Sense channel is someone might have to see a provoking title that they didn't ask to see, right? Like that I just show up in their feed. But beyond that point though, they chose to click my video. And on my video, I present stuff in a way that I think is not always the video even. Sometimes I'm very nice in the video. But you see, I'm not going to start talking about that whole thing too much. But it's related in the sense that, you know, people, I have great shit to give on this channel. Like, honestly, I deserve so much more. It's just to be frank. I have so much to give. That's all I want to do. That's what I know. So I have to take on the chin that I have to hurt. Look like the bad guy first, right? To give people the chance. Give people the chance to reach a higher level in the end. Same thing with family. It's like, well, I tried being nice. I'm a fucking good person, but you keep treating me like shit, not recognizing me at all. Well, I'll leave you. Maybe you learn your lesson then. And here's the toughest part. Some people are not gonna learn the lesson. And you just have to be fine with that then. Right? Because you leave for you, but you leave for them too. You give them the chance to get better. So, yeah. They will never change either. See, Bully Maguire, that's where Theo has this insane belief that, I don't know who you mean, if you mean the parents or, but Theo has this insane belief that he has figured out stuff to such an insane degree that he cannot change anyone, not literally anyone. But even that video for my mom today, do you know how much I tried to like fix my mom like that? And I mean now, not in a, that's the point with my mom. I've had to mini abandon her many times, if you see what I mean. But I try to talk sense into her. I keep feeling stepped on. You're not listening. You're not seeing my perspective at all. Now you're just going to be the preacher again. Know best about everything. Refuse to even consider my perspective, you know. Well, now it hurts too much. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm ignoring your text messages now. I'm not coming around as often. I'm going to be away for a while. And so many relationships are like that. You have to go away, take some distance before you take one step closer again. You know, over and over and over and over. And yeah, I have this insane belief that my mom has already improved. Our relationship is much better. It's much better, but it's still the case that I am left feeling not seen, not heard, in a way that I cannot accept, right? Even though she's much better. So now I gave her a big one, a big fucking one, a video on YouTube. My mom would never dare to do what I do, put herself out here like this, because she has all this shame over who she is yet still, I mean. I guess yet the word comes because I want my mom to get to love herself, get to accept herself finally, you know. That's what I'm trying to do for all the people on this channel. I want you to know that it's okay to be you. And, you know, if you have a problem with Theo being him, guess what? You have a problem with you being you. And to be very clear, as a rounding off point there, is that the point is never that you should be become me, right? Take whatever you like from me and implement it to you. You be you, but you should never feel like something is wrong with a different person, like emotionally, if you see what I mean. It's like, of course, I can on paper say, for instance, about my mom, like, well, these things, I don't think she handles in the best way. But I don't feel triggered by it now. You say bully? I'm gonna read more Rishab, but bully McGuire, you talk to each other, I guess. I'm 29. I came back home because my mother had a hole in her heart and she needed help with everyday life, but I couldn't contribute enough for her well-being. What do you mean? I couldn't contribute enough for her well-being. You know, that's also the difficult thing, you know. I mean, I have been put in that position so many times when it's like, I see so easily like, oh, now it's like I'm selfish if I don't do this. But it's like, but I always am there for everyone with fucking everything. And now I'm supposed to yet again just sacrifice myself. It's like, and then I feel bad about it. Like this person has this or this and this. But you know, it's a strange thing to learn this life, right? Like, yeah, you can't be happy with either choice sometimes. It's like, oh, I either make them upset or me, you know. Can't always be making yourself upset. And that's why I'm talking about this, the king, right? Learning with being okay instead, you know. Accepting this is the way it is. That's just the way it is. Like the stream, if you haven't, guys, maybe pay Theo for his work before he goes with a super chat. You know what? I need to take from all the fucking stimulus. I managed to slow down a bit, but it was too much stuff going on. I'm gonna go a little detour just through the forest. You know, that's the thing. You know, that environment. What's the word I'm looking to define this? Like, you know, in certain places, it wouldn't matter what you did. You weren't able to fully calm down. But if you go to a calm environment, even being all stressed up, be able to calm down quite quickly. Oh, this is nice. Can you hear like the cicada? Is that what they're called? A much more natural sound. That's something, even before getting into this higher state, this entire year, I felt so much more sensitive to all fucking fake machine noises. This world we live in now, there's so much freaking fake machine stuff. You know, even the people, right? Like the programs they're running. You know, as in within. Let's see now. Bully McGuire said, I guess in response to Rishab, that they will never change either. The same here, we ruin it. Or, yeah, I'm not sure if you said as I was speaking or the train, the freaking train. I gotta just get away from all this shit for just a little bit. It's freaking a little bit. Hypersensitive person. You know, that's the thing. That's a really cool thing, guys. When you have stuff like that, that definitely can be a weakness, you know. Like being hypersensitive, it can make things very difficult for you. Like it's not just about sound. It's like other people's energies, you know. If you have even small insecurities, even if you come far with them, it can just like sting hard at the wrong moment or something. But when you strengthen, I call it upgrade the hardware, as in training the body, eating the right stuff, so that, you know, everything works well from that end, and also get to know yourself, so you're extremely aware within. It's like now, I felt like very over, all the noises, I don't like it. still I'm right here in the center. I know what's going on, I don't get overwhelmed. Like, yeah, a little bit, but I'm like still in charge, Point being, something that is a weakness can become a complete strength, because it's just being able to sense stuff with your own common sense. Oof. So you said, Rishab, exactly. I'm being guilt-tripped into giving the money I have. There is so much I can do. I have not taken a holiday in 3 years, only grinding on making money and paying for her medical bills. Fuck, man. And they treat you like that? Get the hell out of there. I'm giving you the permission to just get the fuck out of there. Like, don't make, if you don't want to, don't make a big scene. Don't make any last appeal or something. They've gone too far. Like, just from what I pick up here, get the fuck out of there. Let them lose you. Let them lose you. Don't let them. It makes me. I don't have it in me in this state to feel anger right now. I'm also too exhausted. But I get going. I guess I have to calm down again. Say it, but it's like, of course. Of course, people are just, like we've talked about, people are just people. They just have their problems, But we have to get to stand up for ourselves also. And when people fucking treat you like you're their little possession, or you're being selfish now if you don't, if you're not my complete possession to do as I please with. You exist for my well-being. And if you don't, then you're being selfish. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, stupid bitch. Like, yeah, I'm talking about your mom. Sorry, bro. But this straight up. Straight up. Leave her. Yeah. You have my permission. Like, not that you need mine, but not the word permission. Encouragement. Validation. La 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 3. Hello, coach. It's crazy how we share the same trauma from parents. The only way to be happy in life is through healing trauma. Yeah, man, completely. Completely. Rishab said also, on lighter things. Who is better, Gyökeres or Isaac? I support Arsenal and hoping Gyökeres come good. Is there some freaking football thing? Soccer thing? I'm sorry, bro. If you're into that, that's fine for you. I couldn't care less about that. I've never, honestly, since I've been a kid, I'm like, why do people like to watch? I mean, this is what makes me realize that I'm cut out to be a leader, because I don't care to see a bunch of guys looking at other men do something. Well, what's interesting about that when I could play, if I like the game, or if I get to, if I'm in charge of the team, but just looking at it, I mean, I guess if I myself play something, then it would make sense. But it's a thing, It's like now we just had this conversation about the parents, so I don't want to, because I could go and be all triggering about this, definitely. But yeah, that's how I see it. It's like, fine, people, if you're interested in that, like, don't give a shit about what I say. But I've never gotten that people want to look at other people do stuff like that, Yeah. Nope, never been interested. Mystical stab artist. Don't buy bonds, don't buy stock. Just get busy and lift the rock. It was a nice rhyme, man. This guy, he's fascinated by rocks, lifting rocks. It's like, I don't remember if you ever commented something not about rocks. In one way or another, it's always about rocks. Like, even when it's not just a rhyme. What did you ask me? You asked me recently about, like, someone who lifted a rock in some place and he was like arrested for it or something. Well, it was something about a rock, pretty sure, you said. Um, lifting heavy rocks makes sad voice and had quiet Suzuki response. Yeah, man. We kids of narc parents were always alone, if you think about it. Bully Maguire. Yeah, man, but yeah, yeah. Thing is, I had a thing with my brother too. I just put narcissist in the title of the video. Like, I'm gonna send my mom. I saved it today. I didn't send it today. But it's kind of perfect because she comes back home, like not to me. I don't live with her, but she is in a place we were on vacation on Tuesday. So I send it to her tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell her, like, I'm sorry about the horrible title. I just need to get attention that way. It's a very positive video to you. I love you. You're the best. Watch the video. Take it in and listen for once, Like, she's learned to do a little bit better already, Then I'm gonna talk to her and meet her when she's home. But what I want to come to is that my mom, she was also alone. Or I mean, her mom was way crazier than she is. Like, alone in the sense that definitely not seen and heard given what you would have needed, right? But I see my mom isn't like a narcissist. It's like we all have narcissistic tendencies, right? But I just put that in the title to get the attention that way, hopefully. But yeah, the point being also that I have my brother, and he clearly took a lot of energy, time, and attention. So, that's a part that I felt very lonely. I don't know how things would have been if it was just me. It's not something, it's like, not, I wouldn't change a thing about anything now. But it's an interesting thing to think about. What would have happened there if it was just me? What time do we have? Yeah. Okay. I want to sit down in a place a little bit with you guys to end the stream. And I'm gonna end the stream in the forest actually, and just vibe a little bit with it before I go. And mystical stab artist, because it's simple, it's not complicated. You don't have to worry about details. The focus is on the effort. The will is all that matters. Metaphorical rock. Triumph of the will. Yeah, man. Lift the rock. I did it. I started doing it in Greece. That was funny, the house I was living, like in Greece, it's typical in the culture. That's a nice thing. That's absolutely not much of a thing in Sweden. But if let's say you live in a building and there's several apartments, and there is like a garden, a backside, that people just collectively help out with stuff around there, right? It's like, it's not some, communal worker or something. It's like people will do that together. And well, being the guy I am, when I saw them like out there working with stuff, I saw the men working, lifting stuff. I come out and is there anything I can help with? There were a bunch of rocks that were supposed to be moved. Like there came a truck. And I asked if I could keep one rock. And I could. It was a beautiful rock. I always remember that rock. I would hug it. On one day, there wasn't like a true, are there people here in my forest? No, okay. No, it's okay. It's like these e-scooters. Could have lights on. Yeah, no, it was a beautiful rock. I would hug it, and on a day that wasn't like a real true training day in the gym, I would do rock squats. And what did I do more? I did like sort of Jefferson curl-ish kind of movements with it. And I used this, what is it called? Like, I guess like a tree stump, but a big one. You do it like a landmine for different stuff like that. And just the first time I lifted the rock, it was as if it awakened something primal, you know. Like I felt, it's like you could feel in your entire system, like some of my genes have done this before. It's like they recognize it, right? And yeah, no, I think speaking of the freaking robotic environments and stuff, you know, you have to connect with nature in many senses of the word. It's like I can't get complete. It's like freaking planes, you know. Can I just get to feel like there's some actual silence for a little bit? Here are some people, but they're passing by. Oh, have the autistic younger bro. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna sit down because I can do that very close to here. Miguel Flores. Hey, I finally catch you live. I love your videos and what you talk about. It helps me improve so much. Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad the videos are helpful. I'm glad you're here. I'm so... It's all wet there. Wasn't prepared. Oh, okay, wow. What the fuck? It's not that this wet in this grass usually. And did it really rain earlier or anything? Strange. Yeah, I'm supposed to end the stream soon, man. I mean, it's like, you know, Theo, he is a very strict parent with himself. Like, he has learned to parent himself. Oh no, my bench is taken. I guess I have to go there. The freaking sunglasses, don't see. No, but Theo, he has learned to, you know, the narc, you said, Bully Maguire said how people with like narc parents were always alone. Narc parents or not, you have to raise yourself then. And I have learned to be a very good parent to myself. And it's always that fine balance of being a lot of both. It's like, should you be more positive or negative? It's not just about whether, which one. It's both when, but you need to be a lot of it. I need to be super strict with certain things, and also really nice and loving and forgiving, right? But it's like, I've already done, like, do you understand? Theo is so rigid with certain things he does. The training, the sleep, the eating. He's been so on point for so long, right? And he's gradually learned to also do that other part also, to be like, okay, be fine with letting go of the structure and knowing he will come back to that. It's like, I'm not really worried that I can come back to that, but what I'm trying to get to here is that there's a part of me that really wants to keep streaming. It's so easy, I enjoy talking to you guys. But it's like, I'm not allowed to. You know, I have a bedtime that I'm supposed to go to. I'm already actually a bit past it. It's like, is it okay, Theo? Can I do it one more time? Just be up a little longer today? You see? You see, these are exact things that a kid would ask their parents, you know. It's so interesting, this fucking life, you know. It's incredible. You know what's most incredible? That now I sit here feeling like I'm so close to God and the core of how things are. The amazing thing is to know that there will come a time when there's absolutely not the case anymore. I've gone through life, I've had this happen enough times. Just learning to roll with that. It's like this moment. Go back to exact this moment, Theo, in the stream at another time. See how you look at it then. I'm gonna go to the chat again soon. I just want to finish this point that, you know that Theo, when he's in a low state, he absolutely hates watching his own stuff. Because he has shame then. He has even recorded videos when he's felt good for himself when he's not feeling good. And still been unable, couldn't bring himself to watch them. It's like, you gotta learn that, Theo. Gotta learn that, because if there's someone that understands low Theo, it's high Theo. Because that's the thing, high Theo can imagine very well what it's like being low Theo. Low Theo cannot imagine at all, barely. You know, on an intellectual level, try, you know, but it's like he forgot, right? Yeah, take off my glasses a little bit. See how we do it. See what parent Theo lets kid Theo do today. Kazuira Miller liquid. Look, I love that you guys make the liquid connection too. Love that. Let's see. Where were we? Warrior of Love. Howdy, y'all. Nat the King. Howdy, my man. You know, guys, let's give Theo the permission to go to 2 hours, if so. There is 1:30 now. It's perfect timing to make a rule like that. So because yeah, I stick around with you guys a bit. Yeah, so Miguel, good to see you here. La 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 3. I have an autistic younger brother, and I always feel like my relationship with him is always lacking. I get the feeling of guilt. My parents, instead of taking care of him, they want me to take the burden. Well, that's something I had to be very fair to my parents, that for the most part they didn't do that. What I felt they did sometimes was that they just let fights between us happen, where at that case, it's like I'm trying to fix it. You know, I'm both the little kid that's super angry, hurt, because I'm a kid and I'm getting beat for unfair things, yeah, but I also know that he doesn't know any better, and I should try to steer this, have this not happen. And that's the mistake I felt. That's something I felt very hurt by both of them. It's like, why didn't you heard that we fought? Why did you just let us do that? Didn't intervene. But other than that, they've never pushed me to take care of him. So, but do you know that, to give you a perspective on that, because man, that's tough. I know I love my brother. Right now in a high state, it would be quite. It's so easy for me to do anything, honestly. So I could have a great time with him then, and I can have an all right time with him. We have our we're brothers. We're still alike. He's just way, 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 way more childish and low IQ, to describe it in the fastest way. Other than that, he's quite similar to me in many ways, right? Um, but yeah, so in small doses, it's easy, and I make an effort to do stuff with him these days. But yeah, of course, you're never gonna be able to. It's like that's my Andreas who gave me the cross, right? He pointed it out to me. I'd never thought of it that way, but actually, you become like more than a brother figure. It's like you have to be like a father, because that's what the thing with kids, right? Like, so my cousin, they have kids now, and I realize that the relationship to small kids, they can feel like they're quite lacking. Even if you love the little kid, it's like there's so many things they cannot do and relate to. They lack empathy and stuff, little kids. My brother definitely doesn't like empathy in particular. But point being is that, yeah, it's like you have to hang out with a kid. And of course, that's tough for you. But what I want to come to is that I, from my perspective, kind of wish that my parents made me take care of him a little bit more, because I've now felt guilty as an adult that it doesn't come so naturally to me. Some things, it's not about what we want to do. It's like if you're not used to doing it, the idea, it doesn't even occur to you, maybe, certain thing. It's like me, even being a loner guy, sometimes I made myself more like loner. I'm extroverted, but being a person that does things by themselves so much too. Um, like, I have friends, but certain of them I don't have the habit to just reach out to, right? Because I'm so used to just doing things on my own in some sort of way. So in a similar way, my brother, I've had to really, really, really put effort into becoming aware. Shit, I should send him a text message at least. That's a beautiful thing. Little text message does a lot for him. Um, yeah, but even I've started doing more activities. But you see, to finish this point, I completely understand your situation, and it's unfair if they just put him with you and you're supposed to take care of him the whole time. Um, because yeah, it is what it is, right? But on the other hand, you want to be there for him, right? It's a balance. You want to be there the right amount for him, and I can feel like, oh, my poor brother, that's gonna have fucking no one after a point when my parents are gone, And he loves me so much, you know. Yeah. Just like yesterday's stream when I said I'm gonna text my mom and tell her I love her. I'm gonna text my brother after this. Just to give you some perspective, man. Um, let's see. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, shit, I revealed myself to be liquid, I guess. Not Master Miller. Um, so, La 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 3. I'm slowly learning to let go. You were the guy, right? Yeah, it was you. Slowly learning to let go the nature, and the gym always helps. Reading people like Gabor Mate. I know the guy, but I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Gave me a lot of insight into my trauma. And of course, your videos are gold. Awesome, man. Guys, do you think that's my thing? I should put like words like trauma, healing, that kind of stuff. It's hard. Do you know what the difficult thing is about doing Theo's thing? It's like where, you know, natural bodybuilding is part of it, but just not quite fit in there, right? And yeah, spirituality, yeah, that's kind of my thing, but there's so many gay ass, stupid spiritual people, you know, that I don't belong to at all, you know. And just pure psychology, I think a lot of people that think they're all into psychology, they are lacking, well, spirituality many times. You know, do you know what I feel? People often have two, but not the third, right? There's always the third missing of the body, mind, soul. And I feel like I'm right there when they all intersect, right? But it also makes it hard to, in one way, it feels like I should be able to reach so many people, like everyone. But it's also like, where should I go in that direction to, you know, is that, you know, to call for attention? So like with a title, for instance, you know, should I go there? Oh, bodybuilding, jacked, ripped. Should I go there? Healing, blah, 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 blah. You see what I mean? It's like, it's both so clear and unclear in that sense, right? Uncommon sense. Yeah, and guys, this is why, like, I really want more input from you. Someone that's very much like me pointed out in a comment that, oh, you always look for sort of validation from people outside of you. Not, they didn't mean validation as in, you know, that I want you guys to, oh, do you like me, guys? Okay, do you like me if I do this? But just asking for your input, and it's like maybe it's you know, up to you to change to other people. Maybe they should conform more to you. And I'm like, yeah, well, I know what you mean. It's not that I'm trying to, you know, please people in that sort of way. I'm genuinely trying to like confirm, am I making myself understood? Do you guys see anything? Can you at least give me ideas, you know, about something else I could do? I don't have to listen to it if I disagree in the end, right? But sometimes I feel so much like, oh, well, Theo, you're just supposed to figure out everything on your own always. Just give away from scratch. You come up with it completely by yourself. You give it away. Um, don't expect to get too much back, and even input to give more. It's like, don't expect that too much of that either. Pretty much, I feel sometimes it's like, well, be God, Theo. Be God. Just create something out of nothing, and that's what you do. But I'm not God. So guys, help the little fella Theo. That's what he's saying. Yeah, I guess the jig is up. Liquid is here. So, let's see. You know, do you know what? Theo might not be able to go at the 2-hour mark. We'll just find out, I guess. Yeah, you said my videos are gold. So tell me more about that. La 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 3. Mystical stab artist. Whenever I go out to walk in the park, normies seem to follow me around. I record monologues there. All I want is to be alone, but normies swarm me like bugs. Like, it's funny. It's almost like you're making fun of me with that. But I think you mean it. You record monologues? Like, do you do videos, man? Or, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Because that could be kind of something I said. Suzuki, Yeah, and you said, I think if I'm that charismatic, I should use it some way. Okay, okay, I see. You do something similar to me, probably, but you just record them for yourself? Or, yeah, man, I mean, it sounds like something I would do. When you say that, it makes more sense that you hang around here. You know, you have a very strange energy. Like, I couldn't quite, when I first saw you with the rock, I was like, you know, triggered is too strong of a word sometimes, but I'm like, it's like, I'm not getting this. Like, fucking rock every time. It's like, it was fun for a while, you know. Now I'm not sure, what are you even doing with that thing? You know, yeah, sometimes there's some kind of middle ground about being triggered, you know, when you're just like, I'm not quite getting what's going on here, and it kind of just bothers me in that way. But at this point, I like you. I embraced, like, it came to a point when it was just like, okay, it's so funny how this guy, just everything he says is about, is about the rock. But yeah, man, if you do that kind of thing, you are an uncommon guy like that, yeah, you should do something about it. Is it my job to unite all the weirdos? Like the great people, the better people, if we're gonna be that way, you know? Um, if we are to define things just factually, you know, of course, all humans have equal worth and all that. Yunkiki, respect to you, text your bro. I will. I don't forget a thing like that to this sort of state. It's like, press save, it's there. So let's see, where were we? Come on. Yeah, you said that about keeping the glass on. Sorry, I revealed that I'm Liquid Snake. Mystical stab artist. I bet if I brought a loudspeaker and ranted, I could get quite a crowd to gather, like that one painter guy. That's one thing that's extremely annoying about being tall and somewhat good looking. Zombie-like people shadow you just to try to imitate the magic. I don't know. Lacking empathy is a type of mental retardation. Yeah, I mean, you know, I could do a point about that. I don't necessarily think so is the case, because you can have too much empathy too, and a person with empathy can be a really mean person, because empathy really just means that you attune to others' feel, you feel others' feel. It's really about sensitivity, right? And there are people that don't have that ability so much, but still care about others. There are empaths that use their ability to tune out others, either to be manipulative, or when they think they are being like nice. You know, you're people pleasing, right? You're not really. You know, there's a mix of it. It's a bit of both going on, but many times it's about you feeling uncomfortable about the other one having negative emotions. You're making it's you know, selfish. A simple example I take of that before I move on is someone has snot sticking out their nose, you know, and you're like walking around like that, you know. You know how you feel seeing it. You know how everyone else feels. I can't bring myself to say they're gonna feel bad that they've walked around with that snot, so I don't say anything. It's like, okay, so you're being nice now, letting them make a fool of themselves in that way. See, don't necessarily think that empathy is all good, all a nice thing, you know. And I'm saying that as an extreme empath. Okay, I've faced everything. I faced everything that I can. Cannot say that I faced everything there literally is, but I keep that's what I do here. That's why I trigger people to face shit. That's how you become Giga Chad. That's how. Do you know what I have, mystical stab artist? I have. In real life, of course, people are cowards. It's online. They are all brave and say the things. But I have that. People looking for flaws, flaw finding, and they always reveal by that. When they reveal in one way or another, you're above it all. You think you're so much. You're perfect. While I am the one that does the practice to figure out all the ways I'm not perfect, right? And to come closer to perfection, what they reveal is that they think that I'm perfect. They think that, and they project that thinking on me. But you do know, this weekend I've had many guys, and it's a common thing. They try to attack my face. They try to make me feel bad about my face because they're so threatened by me, right? What they don't understand is that, first of all, I get a complete opposite feedback all the time from the good guys too. Like, oh, the 10 out of 10 Nordic facial genetics and stuff. But the last, final and major point is that I don't give a shit about my face. I like my face. I like Theo, but I don't go around thinking about how pretty my face is or not at all. That's what these little insecure people can't understand. Some people, they have such a strong identity, they don't identify with a thing that they cannot change, like their face. My face is here. Such an interesting aspect of me compared to the guy I am, you know. It's like even a body. Yeah, I use it for you know, I like to build a certain body, but it's all about what I think about it, though. It's like I never did it for external validation this time. It's so funny. You end up being the extremely attractive one that doesn't really, you know, care too much about it in that sort of shallow way. And you have all the people that care a lot about it try to attack you for different things. It's quite funny. All these things, guys, it's been so fucking good to deal with the haters. I've learned so much, and I made myself so much stronger. Where were we? You said lacking empathy is a type of mental retardation. Do you know the question to test it? How would you feel if you had not eaten breakfast this morning? Well, that is to test capability to think about hypothetical conditionals. Aha, okay. That's an interesting one. You know, I just start thinking. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that I feel like that's about empathy necessarily, but let's move on. Bully McGuire, I think we men are self-reliant and more prone to being alone. That's women stuff to be around others all the time. Well, man, it's you know, we have to be a bit honest though. Like, don't cope about it. Embrace that you. Not all men are like this, you know, and like I wouldn't call all the other men like weak men that are more like social or something. Social is the wrong word. But you know, how should I put this in the right way? Like, I definitely embrace the fact that, you know, I even like my own company. Like, especially in the high state now. Like, I feel like I'm in the best company ever because I'm, you know, I love Theo. I love being Theo. I'm with Theo all the time. So I can't really feel lonely, but I can feel lonely at times. And, you know, I don't cope by like just pretending, putting up this act that, well, the other people, you know, they just don't get me. So I'm, you know, I'm better off by myself. La, 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 la. You know, yeah, a lot of the time it is like that. But I've had to see two things: that I have been too independent, the hyper independence trait. I've actually kept myself away from the people that I could be with. And I'm such an extreme, weird individual that a lot of people cannot stand to be around me for too long. They can't. And it's not, what I've also learned to accept that it's not most of the time when I know I fixed my shit. It's not even about me being a bad person or doing anything wrong. I'm just so intense. It's like this girl I was dating. You know, she just took, she was looking for attacks in everything I said because she felt so threatened by my entire presence, you know. She couldn't handle it. Yeah. So you see what I mean, man? I see it so often, that kind of coping, that, you know, being around women, being around people is women stuff, you know. That I disagree, you know. I would agree as a general pattern that, yeah, women kind of need company more than men overall, but is it entirely a good thing? This trait that we're pinning down? No, but that's why I'm in the place where I made the King video. I've taken that from someone that I'm very close to. A woman, actually, but a woman I'm definitely friends with. Like, there's nothing else going on there. But she told me the king is always alone. As in, he has his people. You know, he can have a queen, can have people that get him and that. But in one way or another, the king is the king because he is at the freaking top There's some things that, yeah, the king is in one aspect, in some kind of way. There's gonna be one lonely aspect to it, yeah. Gonna move to a little bit more light, and maybe go soon. Maybe go soon, yes, we'll see. Yeah, where were we? Warrior of love. I'm a fool because I still don't know what I should do to help my brothers. They are atheists, and more than anything, my tough love hasn't helped them. It's all I know. How can I bring out the best? They can be so much more. You can only lead by example, man. You joined the stream a little later. We didn't talk about brothers in particular. But that's the thing, man. If you tried directly and they couldn't receive it, it's time to move the fuck on. Move the fuck on. Move closer to God. Shine brighter and brighter. Those of them that can come around will come around eventually. That's also the kingly thing, right? Seeing when we talked about that on the stream, and it's very much a theme on Uncommon Sense channel lately. Just knowing when, like, hurting, leaving is the right thing to do, not only for your sake but for their sake. You tried to reach out the hand, it was slapped away enough times. What are you gonna do? Keep reaching it out until you bleed. That's not productive for anyone. So I've done that. I've done that with many people. And yeah, some of them were lost. But you know, some of them, we you know, some people you never know. You might get back together in 10 years. The important thing, warrior of love, is that you are a warrior of love. That's what you're about, right? You keep fighting your fight. Those that don't come along, it's their loss. And it actually is. When you are a warrior of love, not a warrior of ego, then that is the truth. It's not easy, man. But Theo has done this shit for so long that he's like, he's even feeling quite good about it. There can always come shocking things. Always, you know, when there's someone really close or something, that something happens. But me, like, it's like the girl I was seeing, right? You know, I was quite excited about her. The way I was thinking of it was that, wow, she many things on paper are like great, very unusual with her. She was Ukrainian, so she's not a stupid, completely feminist brainwashing kind of person, you know. Well, many things. And I'm thinking to myself, because she was a sort of life coach too, that, well, at the very least, I will now have like a friend girl that's into similar things as me. Still, when she got all triggered, and, well, I chose to confront her back. Because I am a king. You know, a king doesn't bow. Like, I didn't do anything mean to her at all, if you see what I mean. But I'm not, when I think she's not in the right, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, please. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, I'll just be fake now. I'll just be fake now so I get to be around you more. No. I, in the nicest way possible, tried to, you know, make her see things, see the truth. She couldn't handle it. It was quite shocking, because the kind of person, she was so much more developed, you know, so much more insightful than most girls around here. And she could have that reaction. It was like, what? But I didn't feel bad about it at all, because I know that I'm in line with the truth. I have had similar things happen that way. Oh, yet another person that could have handled the truth. Imagine my surprise. Small surprise, because of the kind of person it was. Not all too surprising in the end. I kept saying it, guys. Kept saying it on this channel. It's like 99% of people, they can't face the truth. Not completely, right? I want to get all the way there. All the way there. I'd rather die. I'd rather die. I'd be happy to die right now, actually. I don't want to. I don't wish to. But because I know at this point in time, I'm living exactly the way I want to. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. Would have no regrets. Not a single one. Because if I was meant to die right now, yeah, I died living fully and completely in line with the truth. Bully Maguire, can I be your top go-to guy, King? I mean, weren't you? You don't need people around all the time, Bully Maguire. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? No, I mean, all you guys are my top guys. All the guys that vibe with me. So yeah, Bully, I like you, to be clear. I'm just poking fun. Like, I have cool people around the chat. It's gonna be like not that there are ever really uncool people on the chat, but it's gonna be hard to leave. It might just push the 2-hour limit. I love you guys so much, and you know that I mean it too. Like, genuinely. You know how many people say? Do you know that's a thing with this world? People, they just use the signals. They imitate, you know, people say I love you when they don't. Love is the truth, you know. Love is an action. You can feel love. You can feel love. It can be aligned with the truth on that level too. But mainly, it's a way of being, you know. You say you love someone, and you can make mistakes. That's one thing, that you slip. If you correct it, right? But if you keep hurting someone that you say you love, that's not love. That's an imitation. It's pretense. It's fake. Am I right, warrior of love? Wow. You guys are really talking a lot, right? It's cool. I love you guys. Do you love me enough to send me a super chat before I go? See, that's not the loving behavior, right? You guys don't love me if you don't send a super chat. I don't believe you then. Where were we? Okay, there. Willie Maguire, and you're great at it. Self-organizing, you look great, and your life is great. No drugs, no divorce, no bullshit. It's success in my book. Yeah, man. Just don't make the mistake of thinking that I'm actually perfect. Like, you know, I'm never dishonest, but I'm not good, and I'm gonna admit mistakes and stuff. But let's just say I'm not gonna go out of my way to share every flaw that I have. You always see, even someone that's honest, you always see, not to curate the picture per se, but I made that point on Instagram when I took some videos from golf. Of course, I only uploaded some shots that I filmed that were good shots, but I was honest about it. But then I said, Warrior of Love, the $5, is it? Yeah, thank you for your time. Appreciate it, bro. See, the only guy that loves me. The funny thing is, I have to make a point about that, is that the way he did it now, I was joking about, like, you guys don't love me if you don't do that. But Warrior of Love knows that I was joking, and he realized, yeah, I want to show appreciation. So, yeah, love you, man. Appreciate you. No, but I made the point that, yeah, I just uploaded. I did it in a joking way, but I don't remember. I just uploaded the best shot, right? And then I made the point, never compare yourself to someone's social media self. Because even someone that isn't lying, they're not going to be putting out all the shit that they do, right? He said, money comes and goes, glories for, well, you were going to say forever, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. No, but point being, even an honest person, it's going to just be the case that you see like a highlight reel in some sort of way. And just imagine all the fake people, what you see there. It might not be genuine whatsoever. It might look great, amazing, you know. It's not. And of course, social media, yeah, I've thought about this so much because people, of course, did this behavior before social media, putting on a pretense, putting on an act, putting out the thing they should be to get what they want. It's manipulative, right? So the social media just takes it to an extreme degree, the way you can choose exactly what you put out and that. No, but let me tell you, Theo is a perfectionist. He is a perfectionist, right? Like all you guys are, to some degree. And so when Theo isn't happy with an intro of a video, even being in a high state, even talking genuinely, you know, sometimes you do behaviors that aren't like dishonest per se, but they're, you have to do something a bit mechanically, right? And so let's say to do a certain intro, it's not fake, but I have to sort of play myself a little bit before I get into a flow. And sometimes I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy with how it's going. I'll retake the intro. No, this is not every video, right? Not at all, but it happens sometimes. I retake it so many times that in the end, the first minute is mechanical, but it looks almost exactly like the genuine Theo. And you might be able to spot that when I tell you like this, but maybe not. So you see, I don't know what point I want to make about that really. I just find that thing so interesting. When you're not inauthentic, but you have to sort of imitate a little bit. Yeah, but people can just do this to an insane degree on social media. And actually be fake, right? So I earned a whole $5 from this stream. So that's like $2.50 an hour, yeah? No, I've earned so much more. Gained so much more. I got to give my love to my people and receive. Let's see now. La 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 3. Where were we? Wow, you guys have gone on so much. I guess because I have gone on so much, but wow, so much, guys. I'm gonna try to be a little shorter because I want to just acknowledge everything while I can. So there, warrior love. Oh yeah, that was about your brothers. Warrior, mystical stab artist, and you said his advice about his atheist friends was you must whoop them totally. Being dominated and humiliated like that is the only thing that can shock them out of their ignorant egotism. Then build back up. Once I outgrew my older brother, his attitude totally changed. He desperately tried to lift to match my strength, but it was futile. He was no longer able to bully, and you could tell it crushed his spirit. Sorry, I do record monologues. I'm not being funny. I have hours and I have, man, the way you speak, man, is like, I guess that's how I will come off to some people in text sometimes. It's like, were you joking when you told him you must whoop them totally? I mean, you maybe you didn't mean like literally. Because I thought like, almost like you tell him that he should beat them up, you know. No, you just write, you're very funny to me, the way you write, but I love it. I love it. You know, when I almost think you're a troll, but you're not, it's like, no, he's just a weird guy like me then. Uncommon guy. Oh. Yeah, there. Bully Maguire. If I had a little bro, I'd treat him great. I'm sure you would, Bully Maguire. Suzuki. how do you deal with thinking about the past, especially when it becomes too often, as in you compare everything to something that happened in the past instead of focusing on the future. I mean, that's not necessarily, depends what you mean by that. Because quick point, you know, I bring up my panic attack story all the time. I don't identify with like that. It's my origin story. It's what I have to keep saying to explain, you know, from different angles to really make people understand what happened there. What happened there? What started there, right? But I personally am not hung up on that or anything before that at all, for instance. But I have been, like, you know, I don't know, with a girl I've been with, like actually been with, not the girl I talked about here that was all triggered. When things were great with us and it went to fucking hell the first time, I mean, I was obsessively thinking about, like both her in the moment, but the things used to be before I lost not just her but everything, right? I mean, all you can do is keep going still with all this shit going on. You have to have enough new experiences to replace, you know, get new input in that way. But first, if this is something you think about so often like that, you're not gonna be able to find a way to just not think about it, right? So you might as well embrace the fact that, okay, I'm stuck with this shit for a while, but at least start going places, doing new things. And for instance, if it was a girl you're obsessed, not at that time, no, do not force meeting girls if that's the case. What I mean is going metaphorical places, as in find things that you can do. You find that you find moments when you think less of it, and you're gonna think less of it, whatever it is, and finally you're gonna have a present that you're happy with. It's like Theo right now. He doesn't think about the future or the past at all. He's completely in the present because he's so happy. He is just in line with how he's supposed to be in this world. While earlier this year, it was it? I guess I was thinking mainly, it was more worry about the future, right? How will it go? Oh, I need to get on top of this. I need to do this faster. Oh, you know. But then all you can do is embrace it. Accept it. It's a funny thing. I'll finish this point that way. A thing like that, when you accept it, it doesn't go away. But the moment you actually accept it is the moment you're gonna get some kind of relief, right? And that might encourage you, like, see, I actually forgot about it for a while. Then keep going there. Let it appear. It's gonna appear, right? Keep doing that. Keep accepting. Wow. Sleeper has awakened. Somehow I'm always on a walk when your live streams come up and they end before I can get back to my laptop to send a super chat. This one is to add up on all your previous streams. Thank you, Theo. It's 50. I said it wrong the last time. It's 50 it's Swiss. But what does that even stand for? The CH. But you know, I just know that it's like 500 Swedish. So yeah, man, very generous. You know, I do appreciate it. So I keep saying it. I know Theo has a minor fear still of coming off as he's looking to like grab money from your guys. So he's like, that's the thing, that's a typical thing Theo needs to determine sometimes. Am I explaining because I want to make a point to the guys, or am I defending? You know the difference between explaining and defending yourself. It's easy to confuse. I can tell there's one small degree left in Theo that fears a little bit like that the guys will misunderstand, right? But yeah, I do appreciate it. I do really appreciate it. Because right now, like I said, I will stream no matter what. But I do want you guys, you know, there's gonna come a time, I keep saying it, when I can't prioritize it in this way. And like unless it's actually worth it in that sort of way. And I do appreciate also just the actual gist of appreciation like that. That's the thing with money, guys. You can use money in a fake ego way. But it is a thing, And I do appreciate you, Sleeper as Awakened. That's a very generous contribution, so thanks a lot. I'm gonna try to just go through the chat and freaking go. Theo's issue, loves this too much. Honestly, it is only the parent that thinks Theo should go, like the inner parent, that thinks Theo should go to bed at a certain time. There's nothing actually getting like ruined about my day tomorrow. Like I don't have scheduled work until later. Train, I can be a bit flexible with the earlier part of the day. I'm not gonna completely overstay, but it's like, this is like the reason, the Theo's kid and the parent reasoning with each other. It's like, hey, can't you see that it's not really a big deal? But you should though. You know it's best. You know it's best. Do you think lots of like normies would think that a person having out loud discussion between their inner parent and child, like they're two people, not crazy at all, right? So we were, you told that we're dealing with the past. Okay. And Warrior Love said also about his friends, I do try to go easy on them like my pops did. Good thing they're bigger than me, twice my size. But do you think your pops was too nice, too easy? Or was it good balanced, There's someone right now, I'm gonna try to not be, probably that person is not gonna see here anyway. There's someone right now whose dad clearly was just way too nice on them, and they became quite soft because there was a little lag. I'm talking about someone with a dad who was way too soft on them, so they became way too soft, and they don't realize what Theo realizes yet, and get very angry at Theo when he hints at that. They're extremely angry at their dad for making them into a pussy, pretty much. Like that's the way they feel. I don't even feel that way about them. But it's clear that this anger that they're still even blind to, that they carry towards their dad, it comes out at Theo, but it's really their dad through Theo they're angry at. Do you know, guys, I don't want to like toot my own horn here, but I'm so fucking great at figuring that thing out. Because I figured it so much out of myself. I've done all these things myself, right? I fought my mom and dad through other people and realized it to such a degree that I just see so clearly when the same thing is going on with others, right? It's like, in this state, now I've learned it, but it's hard to not get hubris. It's so funny, because I feel so humble also at the same time. It's like, I'm just lucky to be able to do this right now. But at the same time, it's like, who else is like this? Who else is like this? Only if we're just being honest, Why is Theo not freaking God Emperor of the universe? No, I'm kidding, not that. But like, really, shouldn't Theo be in a higher position? Like, he's very personally happy right now. But just looking at the truth of things, shouldn't he be in a higher position? Don't more people need to learn to do this kind of thing? It's invaluable to me. I know how much I help the people that actually get in touch with me with it. Right? Is this not also the truth? As most stuff that it is that comes out of Theo's mouth? Bully McGuire says, empathy is great to the people who deserve it. Yeah, but the thing is, what I wanted to point out there earlier when I talked about empathy is that empathy is not... People confuse sometimes the feeling, the sensation of like empathetic, like, oh, now I feel bad for them, kind of thing, with actually being caring for someone. You could lack the feeling of empathy and be caring for someone, and you could, you could be empathetic and act very selfishly. So that's the point I want to make. Yet another thing that Theo understands really well, that I'm not saying that you don't understand this, Bully, but many people clearly confuse just feeling empathy with being good to someone. Warrior love, what's the most important thing necessary for 2025? Honestly, man, since we're so far in the stream, further than I was, I can't like go there like that. It's like the most important thing necessary. You decide. You decide. I'll give you one weird spiritual answer that in numerology that I don't put too much emphasis on, but some, you know, my main spirituality, it comes from within, things I figure out from within. But I like to just be open and consider things. Like earlier in the stream, I talked about how I'd love to believe in Jesus if that's right. So I entertain the idea, you know, but I've not found anything there. And I like to look at certain things. And for instance, a thing like numerology, there's clearly that's, you know, math, numbers is like a core root thing in the universe. That stuff is based on math. We didn't invent math, right? And so I think there's something, I think there's just like with, you know, horoscopes, astrology and that, I think there's a lot of nonsense, but there's something to it. And I happen to know that 9 in numerology, it means endings, because, yeah, it's the last number. The only numbers that truly exist count is 1 through 9. 0 is the absence of anything, right? This is why, you know, dividing by, it's undefined, you can't do that. But so the only true numbers, because everything else is a version of these numbers. You know, 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, and so on. That's how they do it in numerology. So 9 is the last number. So it's a year of endings in one way or another. And so me, I don't just completely go and believe in numerology in that, but I'm open to it. Like, I'll just go act as if, okay, 2025 is a year of endings. What do I want to end this year? For instance, with this girl I've been involved with for such a long time, will it be the year that our struggle ends and we finally actually end up in a situation where like that's permanent, right? Or is it the year when I leave it behind completely? For instance, right? That's one, because that's a major thing. I've thought about that. So now I guess I gave you a long answer anyway, but that's a fun thing. Consider that 2025 might be a year of endings of different sorts. What does that mean to you? You figure it out. Well, finally I got to stay at the same place in the chat. I've had to keep scrolling up every time. La 3, you wanted more input. As much as some haters like to call you a narc, I can easily tell that you're authentic and doing something you love and speak your mind instead of people what they want, telling people what they want. I feel like that has a powerful effect for growth. Appreciate you, bro. But of course, most people that stick around here mostly get that, you know. Like, there will always be some that's like, oh, well, I don't like this thing that he does, you know, but generally see that I'm about something good. But the thing is, that's the beautiful thing. That's something that I actually, you know, I don't want to sound all narcissist now, but something that I think is really quite fucking amazing about me is, yeah, I'm trying to save the haters also. And I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't put so much effort on each individually like that, because that would be a complete waste. But since I can do a thing of it that I think is productive for other people, you know, make videos talking about it. Just when you respond in comments, people actually see it, right? And yeah, because I know that the people that when you are triggered by me, congratulations. It's like, if you happen to have the right insight, if you happen to go the right place from here, you can learn something. And my insane belief in my ability to reach, again, not everyone, but that I can reach a lot of people, it has made it so that some of these people do come around and actually apologize. Do you know how cool of a thing that is? How humble someone have to become when they realize that the guy I called hate, you know, that he's narcissist and blah, 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 blah. Wow, it was me all along. He tried to help me all along. I have to say sorry. I have to fucking love this guy now. That happened to me. Again, Andreas that gave the cross. I never hated on him, like directly, because I was mature enough at that point to realize something is going on with me. But at the point I realized that, man, I think he's the best man I've ever seen. And he reminds me of stuff things I have let to learn and grow. So, but yeah, man, appreciate the recognition. Of course, you had autistic brother, and that you probably very similar to me in many ways. And then if you come far enough with yourself, you can see, of course, see a thing like that. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. This guy, new guy here, is 45 too old to get jacked, just because I saw it. And is this guy? No, absolutely not. It might not, you might not reach the complete and full potential if you compare to starting at 20, but that's never going to come back. So completely forget about that. It's never too late to improve. I have a 70-year-old client that I've taken from being unable to do push-ups to doing 10 plus with elevation, which way harder than regular ones. He's 70, man. Of course it's not too late for you. Go after it. Go. Do what Theo does and don't even think about if it's possible. Be borderline delusional that you can do exactly what you set out to do. Yeah, get after it, man. What's the second or last resort MSA? Warrior of Love said, I don't know what that is. Deal with the past. Important wing in 2025. Oh, there we were. Mystical Sychology. They just show their own insecurity about their looks. It's projection. Yeah, I remember what I said at earlier times. Yeah. Warrior of Love. Big old herd. I started too late to the. I'm not sure about that. La 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 3. Oh, you went on. And of course, the fact that you share the human aspect more, you tell us about your struggles and trauma, which put things in perspective. People will see more than just a guy that has huge muscles. And that's what some people want to see. A guy that confirms their ego image of the higher self. A perfect guy who can't be vulnerable and strong with no weaknesses and no humanity. That's a fantasy. Yeah, but that's what a lot of people make up in their head, that I actually think about myself when they're the one that thinks that. That's the funny part. That's the so funny part from this side of things, right? That, what I want to say, it's like kind of like when you say someone is a fake natty, you say because of this, your muscles are way too full and you're way too ripped and the veins. It's like, man, you're just stroking my ego right now. Do you realize that? Because I'm not, I'm not a fake natty. Do you understand that? It's a little similar thing, man, I know from what you're saying that you, since I am well aware I'm not perfect, clearly you must think I'm perfect. Because where else would you be getting that idea, right? Yeah, it's so funny, man. I'm gonna finish the last thing you said. And yeah, you said that's a fantasy that only exists in their head. I feel like we need to do what Carl Jung advocates, which is dealing with the shadow self, understanding what we hate about ourselves and others, feel compassion and heal. Exactly, man. That is exactly. Theo, when he started his journey here, he gained a lot of self-love, acceptance for himself after a panic attack thing. That's what I call the spiritual awakening, and that I happen to have a very major shift like that. But since then, Theo did some things wrong. He was still too black and white in his thinking. He was judgmental over certain things because clearly he was judging himself still for certain things, right? He's gradually found one thing at a time. And to be honest, one major thing was my experience. The first major thing after the panic attacks. 2 years, and pretty much everything is just great. I think I'm not done as a person, but I feel good forever now. Then the experience I had with a girl, wow, that was the major awakening to a lot of things about myself. Abandonment wound, and everything that comes with that. So, yeah. Mystical standard is the king or emperor lives in a gilded cage. He can never be true to himself, for he has too many obligations to others. For example, he may be truly soft-hearted, but must steel himself against that, and never show too much of that side. Well, two things, man. He can show that side. He can show that side, but in my case, at least, I feel like I show that side a lot. I am soft-hearted. I love you guys, right? I deep down, I would like to please everyone and all that. But it's more, so for me, it's more like instead of revealing too much of the soft-heartedness. It's more like I have to be fine with being completely misunderstood by some people. That's the way I see it. So I think, to summarize it quickly with a king, it's just that there's something, he has to be above it all. That's because that's the thing that people that think like me but think I trigger so much. Like, it's like you think you're so above it all that you always throw it out there. You started like that. It's like you have to show that you're so above it all. It's like, no, I'm trying to show you something, little fella. You feel beneath it, what I did. That's what's happening here. So yeah, the king literally in one way or another might be different stuff, different focus for different kings, but he has to be above something, right? A king is pretty much, the way I think of it is that, he's the closest to God, but he can never be God, but he is just like God is above all. Under God, king is above all. And of course, there are different kingdoms and blah, blah, blah in the actual physical world. I see many of you guys as kings, to be clear, right? If not the, finished king, a king in making. It's like, this way I put it, you guys that vibe here, I see you as brothers, and I see haters as children, okay? A father figure to them, brother figure to you. You elaborated, Bully Maguire, how he wanted to be the top guy. Like you can say, I don't have time to deal with this, Bully. Take care of it. And I'm like, yes, boss. You got it, boss. It's like the first idea that came to mind is like, well, can you fucking, do the fighting with some of these haters? But the thing is, I know that what that would make you look like. I would know that I've given you the mission as the top guy. But it would look like they would attack you now. Oh, you're internet daddy, you're internet daddy. It's the funny thing, the haters that stick around at least, they are the ones that actually see me as a father figure that they're angry at, that's why they go to that attack so easily, too. Yeah, so that was the only thing that came to mind, Bully, but I wouldn't put that burden on you. Yeah. No. I'm just thinking, can I tell you to do something? Can you put me, I guess you just do the Bully Maguire thing. If you could do some kind of Bully Maguire meme and involve me, that would be so funny. I don't have time for that, Bully Maguire. Can you do that? Warrior of love. Yeah, I guess there's nothing else to do but be me and hope they catch on. Exactly, with your friends there. Bully Maguire, I'm Russian. If you think women here or in Ukraine are not brainwashed like in US or Canada, you're mistaken, boss. Well, I'm sure they are too. I guess from the perspective here, it's just common that the certain things that kind of girl accepts more easily. It's like a phenomenon among Swedish guys. You just know that, yeah, you can just expect more traditionally the feminine behavior if you go outside this incredibly imbalanced country when it comes to the feminine masculine energies. But I'm sure it's the same to some degree all over the world. No, maybe not the entire world, but all over the place, so to say. Warrior love, many deadlifting champs were middle-aged. This guy. It's funny, how well did it go for Theo to end the stream? Trying my best here. Bully Maguire, women here treat all men like utter trash. Trust. It's not like I'm happy to hear that at all, Yeah, no, but yeah, I believe you. Lionhead 2028, that's some Greg Plitt stuff right here. What the fuck does that mean? What's that smiley face, or smiley, that emoticon all about? Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not liking it. Warrior of love, if you don't mind me asking, sir, is it better to be a cyborg or outright robot, like in Cyberpunk, if we're more efficient? I don't know enough about Cyberpunk. Like, I don't really know anything about it, so can't really answer that because I don't actually understand what the difference is. What I would say is that nah, let's not even try to make something up. La 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 la. 3. Sorry for the long messages, lol. I appreciate your time, coach. It's not something to apologize for. I mean, I appreciate that you think of me, but yeah, no, it's not something to be sorry about. Like, sorry, I actually started thinking about something else outside this. I just realized something I might have forgotten today. But yeah, man, I want you guys to talk. Like, go off, go off. Theo is so tired. Theo likes talking. But then also many times when people that say you talk too much or something, because they're so unable to talk. Theo is just so used to. Most of the time, people want him to talk, and they hold it when it's the right time for them. They hold it against him. So yeah, that's the point. I want to involve you guys. Talk. Just go off. As long as you don't spam bullshit, actual trolling shit. Just go off, man. You're never too much here. Willie McGuire, thanks for the talk, big man. Yeah, thanks, man. Sleeper has awakened, sharing your time and wisdom to provide value to others, just trying to balance things out. Exactly, man. Like, with the super chat. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's not, to be clear, not just the money, it's what that means, what you say. The recognition of that, because Theo, it's like, now I don't even feel insecure about it, but it's like, I don't want to make that point in your face, like, guys, I'm giving you so much, like, don't you think you should give more back, honestly, I know that I do this willingly, I can stop doing streams, to make the point. I can leave you, do the distance thing that we talked about, right? But it's like, well, I guess if I give myself that I am an amazing king, it's like, well, you guys should give me resources to help me further improve. I'm not gonna just go burning it on hookers and alcohol. No, not alcohol, at least. Just kidding. But you see what I mean? So yeah, man, I appreciate that. Balance things out. There was the exact choice of words you used to. Appreciate you a lot, man. Warrior blood. Nah, they ain't me. I want the hardest fight there is. A sledgehammer swinger ain't afraid of backbreaking pain. Yeah, great, man. Sleeper has awakened. Following up on all the discussion about our traumatized parents who traumatized us, I would like to share with you all this music. Sasha Alex Sloan, older. Alright? Warrior love. Patterns are a beach. Is that a joke? You mean it's a beach or noise? Erfolg Unternehmer. What's up? Hi, King. Hi, man. Philip Hoffman. Hey, Theo. It's great to hear you almost every day now. Well, I'm glad you think so, man. I get so happy by a message like that. I know Philip exactly who he is, but that kind of message in general, though, because it makes Theo think of the person he has viewed that way. Oh, I gotta listen to this guy, have this guy on when I do this, I like their company in that way. It's really nice that I get to be that to other people, So I appreciate you, Philip. Warrior blood. I've had to remind my dad a king is busy for the sake of his people and be damned for it too. Exactly. He doing better than everyone on the street. Got it out the muck. Yeah. It's the interesting thing also. Sometimes I realize I give I don't look down on people. I don't. Especially now when I've learned to not judge the stuff in myself so much, right? The less you judge yourself, the less you judge others. But I underestimate sometimes, I guess more like normative people. Like my dad, he is a more normative person. And that's why the most stuff comes from my mom. But I realize he has been a king in the family. He has had a hellish situation. He's really, really, really tried his best. And he's never complained, and no one ever fucking tells him he did a good job. So I have given him exactly this recognition. But I realize that even my dad, that honestly is too soft, too weak in certain ways. But I cannot give him that that he isn't a king, because he carried his mission like a king in the end. He did. Love you, Dad. Gotta tell him too. Gotta tell all the people I love them. Danny, it's almost impossible to do gear in Sweden anyways, the police will be on your ass. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, oh, it's you clearly on TRT, bro. It's like, you're clearly a moron, bro. It's like, it's not barely a thing here. And, yeah. We're soon done here. We're gonna go, actually. Only overstayed. Yeah, well, I guess I went, like, I put one cap at 2 hours too, but before then it's like 1.5 hours. So yeah, that's the thing Theo has to do with a thing like this. It's like, have to put a limit that's actually lower than a true limit, so that it doesn't overstay too long. Real love. Honestly, take a knee sometimes and thank the creator for my pops and my mentors and upbringing. Blessed as fuck. Use good to us be. A pint never hurt nobody. I'm not sure that, but I like the first part there. Take a knee, thank the creator. Yeah. Thank you, God. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, daddy, for giving me life. Thank you, Theo, for doing well with it all. You know. Word of love. Yeah, no, that. Okay. Did I get another super chat here? Did I make? Oh yeah, okay. So I'm at the bottom and I got a super chat. Well, I guess we'll end with that. Perfect. I wish for wings. 4.99. Thoughts on loving social outcasts / freaks, but gets rejected by them romantically, based on a true story. Thoughts on loving social outcasts / freaks, but gets rejected by them romantically. Man. Based on a true story. I'm not understanding this, man. Like, can I'm guessing you're still here. Can you elaborate just in a non-super chat what you meant? Because it's not even grammatically correct, man. It's like, should I have a true story about loving a social outcast and freak, but get romantic? I'm not understanding, man. I'm really not understanding that. I can say thank you for the super chat in the meantime. I'll just stick around for you to possibly say something about that. I'm terrible with grammar. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. Do you know, I think people often get intimidated by Theo, by how... 149 from Miguel Flores. No, it doesn't say anything. Well, I appreciate that. No, but that's the thing, people get intimidated by Theo, that they feel cornered. They feel cornered when Theo just expresses his ideas. Because they are in an ego war before Theo realizes, and they feel cornered because Theo has just told them the truth and they don't have the words to defend themselves against it anymore. Yeah, but that's an important skill in this life, guys. To get good at expressing yourself. Expressing ourselves is all that we do. Not just through words. You know, manifesting a certain physique and that. But one way to express yourself is through learning to put what you're actually trying to say together with the right words, human language, right? And you can polish that. It's definitely a natural gift for me to be quite good at that to begin with. Go compare me now, though, to my earlier videos. And you're gonna see a guy that absolutely can speak and express himself, but not in the same way at all. So let's see, did you follow up? But I wish, yeah, okay, there we are. What I meant was, I find myself liking people who normal people would describe as unsavory, weird, satanic. And it's really odd, because I find myself attracted to these types of people. Interesting. I mean, that's because you're odd, you know. Like you might see yourself as different to this person somehow, but the reason for this is because you're different. It's like, you know, the girl I was brought together with, she is very much, that's why I'm not, now that, I'm gonna get back to you. I guess it's relevant. She's not a social outcast, but she's just as an uncommon person as Theo. She really, that's why Theo now when he had to learn all the ego lessons and isn't attached, actually is willing to let her go completely, if that's what he has to do. Still, the pattern of this universe just tells him that it's very strange if that's not the girl, because she is, if you took an inverted Theo into a woman, that's what you got.